जाएगा। पीपीटी किसने हटाई है क्या? वो चेंज किया किसने?
Today we'll start with MMPC 008 Information System for Managers. And in this, we'll take up the topic information technology and overview. First, we'll discuss about the overview of information technology and then eventually we'll move to another topics. As we all know that IT is the vital component of a successful business. We cannot think about a successful business without IT. No organization nowadays are run without information technology. Why information technology is a major facilitator of a business activities? Why we all need IT to run business? Because of the various reasons. Reasons like performance, high speed, high value, numeric computation. It is very easy to compute the numeric easily. High volume of data can be accessed easily, can be processed easily with help of IT, and the speed of it increases the speed of performance or the effectiveness of any organization. IT provides the fast, accurate, and inexpensive communication within and between the organization. Now, it is not required that you should go from desk to desk to get the information or to give the information. With the help of the information, you can get the information or you can send the information from your desk to your desk. It stores a huge amount of data in easy to access, but yet to small space and allow a quick and easy access. You can store a huge amount of a data within a smaller space, but you can easily access that data. You can quickly access that data, right? It automates the business process and manually done tasks. Because of the automation, the work become easier and faster. Analysis of big volume of data available through internet for decision making. This because we get the information, it helps us in decision making. How it will help us in decision making, we'll discuss it in details later in this lecture. Definition of IT. What is IT? Before we define IT, we should know what is data, what is information, and what is technology. What is data? Data is raw facts and figures is known as data. Raw facts and figures means, let me explain it with an example. Arnav, take an example. Arnav, 95, 750. Uh, can you make out what is this? Is this data communicates anything to you? Can you analyze what this data tells about? Right, so these are the facts and the figures. There are certain figures like 995 and 750 and unknown, right? It could be anything. So raw facts and figures is known as data. What is information? Processed data is known as information, right? Or we can define information as data that have been put into a meaningful and a useful context and communicated to a recipient who uses it to make a decision, right? When we put this data in a meaningful and useful context so that recipient can take a decision on the basis of that, that is known as information. Say it is the detail of a patient, name of the patient, now the show blood that is whether the RBC count could be the 95 and say 750 could be 75 could be the heartbeat rate, right? So this gives the vital of a patient, or it could be I would say it could be a student's detail. Name of the student is now 95% and the 750 marks, right? Okay, so processed data is known as information. Raw facts and figure is known as data. When we process that data or when we put that data in a meaningful and useful context so that recipient could make a decision on the basis of that information, right? Information involves the communication and reception of intelligence or knowledge. We gain some intelligence or knowledge. What is technology? Technology plays an important role in delivering timely and error-free information to the recipient. Technology helps in delivering the error-free and the timely information. Technology includes hardware, technology includes software and the communication system. What is hardware? As we said, technology involves hardware, software, database and communication system. Hardware is a set of devices such as processors, monitors, keyboards, printers that accepts the data, that process that data and displays that data. That is hardware. Software is a set of programs which make hardware operate, which makes the hardware to process the data. In computer in your processing unit, your hardware is useless. So it's a set of program which makes the hardware operatable or which enables the hardware to process the data. What is database? A database is integral part of IT system. What is a database? Actually, it is a collection of related files, tables, relations, etc. that stores and association that stores the data and the association among them. Suppose I have a file of student enrollment which includes the enrollment number of the student, the name of the student, and other father's name and the other detail of the student. The next file contains the subject details of the student which he or she has chosen in various semesters. The next file could be the file of the marks of the student, and there is a relationship. That relationship is through the roll number, because roll number is a unique characteristic, unique identity, which have been given at the time of enrollment. Enrollment is there in your first file, that is the basic file. Then through the enrollment you can come to know the subjects of the student, and you could compute the result, or you could know the result of the student. So database is a collection of related files or tables and the relationships, etc. It stores the data and the association among them. Network, what is network? What is network? That is collections of computer is a network. It connects the computer resources or the computing resources of an organization, right? And it helps in, or it facilitates the sharing of hardware and software. And now we can share, if there are 10 employees, it is impossible for any organization to provide 10 printers to the 10 employees. They can share one or two printers, right? So network facilitates the sharing of hardware and software, and it connects the computing resources. Information technology means, so now we can define information technology. Information technology means collection, storage, processing, and dissemination and use of information, so that we can take the decision on basis of that. That is, we can through information technology, we collect the data, we store that data, we process that data, we provide that information. After the processing of data, that become the information, we provide that information to the user, and then user uses that information, right? So information technology is this. There are various types of information technologies. The first type is TPS. TPS is Transaction Processing System. What is TPS? TPS is basically used for record keeping, which is required in any organization to conduct the business. Any record keeping which is required to keep the records, like if I want to keep the records of payrolls, or if I want to keep the records of attendance or sales order, that is TPS. That is, TPS means the day to day or the monthly, or when some operation occurs at a certain period of a time, and that is required, that record is required uh, by the organization, then that is known as TPS, right? Examples of TPS could be the payroll, shipping records, or attendance records, or order entry. Anything could be the TPS. It is a primary for record keeping, just to keep the records that you have shipped this thing to that customer, or what salary has been transferred to employee's account or not. TPS is a periodic report generation in a scheduled manner. As I told you, when it is required to conduct TPS, we use TPS when we have to conduct operations at a scheduled manner at a certain interval period of intervals, right? So it's a periodic report generation, and which is required in a scheduled manner. That is TPS. The next type of information system is DSS, that is Decision Support System. What is DSS? DSS serves the management of the organization. Decision Support System, as the name indicates, it helps the management to take a decision. So it helps the management of the organization. The decision support system is the sophisticated data analysis tool which support and assist all aspects of problems specific to the decision making. Like say for the if you have some knowledge about the stock market, let's take an example from the stock market, right? uh, There is a software which makes the candles of the stock market, and by viewing those candles you can analyze whether to invest in that particular stock, or whether to take out your money from that stock, or whether to hold your money in that stock, right? That is DSS type of a software which helps you to take a decision, right? That is, it is required by the management. It is a sophisticated type of a tool which is required by the management, or which helps the management to take a decision, the particular types of a decision, right? It helps the management to take a decision. It doesn't make any decision on behalf of management. It provides the solution. It provides you the decision making support, right? It helps in decision making, but it doesn't make any type of a decision for you, right? You have to take a decision by analyzing the charts or the information given by the software. Next type of information system is EIS, Executive Information System. Executive Information System is also known as Executive Support System, right? Senior manager of the organizations uses EIS, and when the senior managers uses this, it must be easy to use, so that executive can use it without any assistance. It could be easiest to use. The result in EIS is usually presented in the graphical forms, so that executive gets the information, the required information, or the needed information. In terms of usually EIS provides the results in forms of graphs, pie charts, data, or line analysis, right? Line analysis tools are there with a broad range of internal and external data. So EIS basically helps the executive support. It is executive support system. It helps the senior managers to take the decision. What is MIS? Next type of a system is management information system. Again, the management information system provides the routine summary on the basic operations of the organization, like TPS that stores the data, right? TPS stores the basic information of any organization. Management information support provides the basic information, or the basic, it gives the routine summary of the basic operation of the organization, right? The basic operations are recorded by TPS of the organization, and MIS consolidate the data on sales, on production, on attendance, on marks, or anything else, right? So TPS records the data, and MIS provides the routine summary of that data, right? MIS provides the routine information to manager and the decision maker, right? If I want to find out my sales output, if I want to compare my sales output of the previous quarter with the present quarter, right? MIS helps in that. It provides the information like this, right? Or if I want to compare the attendance of any student in the previous semester of the previous month with the current month, MIS helps in that. The main objective behind installing an MIS in the organization to increase the operational efficiency. It increases the efficiency, operational efficiency. MIS helps in every aspects like sales, like marketing, production, finances, and every other operations like CRM. MIS helps everywhere, right? Next is ERP. ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning. What is Enterprise Resource Planning? Enterprise Resource Planning System is a set of integrated programs. There are n number of programs which have been integrated into one, and ERP is capable of managing the company's vital business operations for entire multi-site global organization. If I have n number of offices at the various places, then ERP helps me out. It is integrated, it is a set of integrated programs, and the same ERP can be used at n number of site, and I can access the data of any site sitting at my place, right? That is enterprise resource planning. Basically, it is used by the multi-site or the global organization. It is a set of programs like marketing. It includes the programs of the marketing, it includes the programs of the sales, it could include the programs of the production, it could include the programs of the inventory system or developments, right? Like SAP is an example of ERP system, or there are n number of ERP that is available in the markets. This facilitates the organization to share and integrate the data for consistent flow of information over the organization's network. That's what I explained you. And also using the internet as organization may decide. That is, it states that I can get any information by sitting at my place from any of the offices through ERP, right? Next information technology system is expert system. What is expert system? The system has ability to make suggestions and act like an expert in a particular field, right? That is an expert system. Suppose I have resources, tangible and intangible resources. Suppose I have six manpower and I have two machines, and I want to know how to optimum utilize my resources so that I can get the maximum output from my resources. Then expert system helps me in that it will give me the various scenarios in which I can use my tangible and intangible resources so that I can get the maximum output by optimum utilization of my resources. That is, I should use my manpower for 6 hours, then give them the rest for 5 hours, and then utilize them for the 6 hours. Machinery for 8 hours, then rest for 2 hours, then for 7 hours. Then that is an expert system. It gives these suggestions. It makes the suggestion like any expert in particular field. The expert system has extensive knowledge base. Nowadays, such system use the automated business processes to a great extent. Various business perspectives of IT, where we can use or where we use IT in business. There is no perspective, there is no aspect where we don't use IT. We use IT each and every field, like fields like finance and accounting. It helps us in accounting. It keeps accounts of our data. It gives us it helps in financial planning. It helps in revenue generations. It helps in sales and marketing, digital marketing, online sales. Is it possible to carry out online sales or digital marketing without IT? Manufacturing, right? Computer printed, now there are computer printed saris available in the market, printed clothes, textiles available in the market. That is manufacturing. It helps in manufacturing, and there are various machines which helps in manufacturing. Human resource management, it keeps the records of management. It helps in selection process. It helps in example of human resource management would be Naukri.com. Otherwise, selection and recruitment process, it helps in selection and recruitment processes. Project management is another perspective which helps, where the IT helps a lot. It tells us whether we are able to achieve our plans, or we are lacking, whether we are lacking or we are ahead of our plans. So business various, it helps in project management, and it helps in important in data analysis. If I want to analyze my sales and I want to compare my sales with my competitor sales, then IT helps in that. It analyze my data, my sales data, and my competitor sales data. So it helps in data analysis, right? I hope this is clear. Now the next unit is Computer System Unit 2 of MMPC 008, Computer Systems and Smart Devices. We discussed about the overview of IT. Now we'll discuss about computer systems and smart devices. What is computer system? What are smart devices? The physical unit of computer system constitutes computer hardware, right? Hardware, as I told you, hardware is defined as the machinery that helps in input, processing, storage, and the output activities. Hardwares, keyboards, monitor, CPU, mouse, all these are the hardwares. So computer system, the physical units, all these are the physical units. You can touch and see and feel the hardware, right? You can touch your hardware, you can see your hardware, you can feel your hardware. So it's a physical unit of a computer system. It is the hardware, and the hardware could be any machinery that helps in input the data, processing of data, storage of data, and helps in output of data. These are components of a computer system. Try and understand the components of a computer system. There are input units. Input units like monitor is an input unit, your keyboard is an input unit, your mouse is an input unit. Through input unit, you enters the data. Then data goes to central processing unit. Central processing unit is further divided into three. There are three parts of central processing unit. ALU is known as arithmetical and logical unit. Second part is the control unit, and the third part is the register. ALU is arithmetical and logic unit. Arithmetical and logic unit helps in computation of the programs, right? All the computational data, that is addition, subtraction, division, any computation has been done by ALU. Control unit, control unit controls your hardware and the software and other parts, right? So control unit controls it. CPU is the brain of your computer. Control units controls each and every part of your system. A register helps to store the data. When data has been entered through input unit, central processing unit processes that data, and that data has been shown on the output unit. Your monitor is your input unit as well as your output unit, right? When I was making this PPT, it was an input, it was acting like an input unit for me. Now when it is displaying these PPTs, it is acting as a output unit for you and for me, right? So output unit, data output unit could be your monitor, could be your printer, right? And then central processing unit. In central processing unit, there are memories. Memories are of two type: main memory and secondary memory. Main memory is again of two type: volatile memory and non-volatile memory. We'll discuss it in this lecture only, all these things, right? So these are the components of computer. The basic components of the computer are the input unit, central processing unit, and the output unit, right? And the memory. So data flows from input unit to central processing unit, from central processing unit to the output unit, as well as to the memory. And central processing unit is divided into three: ALU, control unit, and the register. ALU is arithmetical and logical unit. It helps in computation of the data. Control unit controls your system, and registers stores the data for a shorter period. CPU reads the program from the main memory and execute each step of the program, which may involve calculation and decision making. It initiates a memory operation which may involve reading the data from the input devices, storing it into the memory, and read data from memory and display it to the output devices. At times, the ALU reads the data from the at times every time it reads the data from the main memory and displays it to the output unit, as well as it stores the data to the memory, right? The control unit sequentially accesses the program instructions, decodes them, and directs them to the ALU. Main memory, also referred to as main memory, is referred to as the primary memory, right? As I have shown in the data, there are two types of the main memory and the secondary memory. Main memory is also known as the primary memory, right? Primary memory. Computer speed. What is computer speed? The word length of CPU is the number of bits it can process in a single cycle. How would you say what is the speed of your system? The number of bits which your computer can compute in a single cycle, that is known as the speed. It could be a 60, you might have heard about 32-bit computer, 64-bit computer, 132-bit computer, 258-bit computer. What does it mean? It means that it can compute 32 bits in one cycle. It can calculate, or it can compute 64 bits in one cycle, or 132 bits in one cycle, or 258 bits in one cycle. So what is computer speed? The word length of your CPU is the number of bits it can process in a single cycle, that is speed, computer speed. Or what is cycle? When I said single cycle, what is cycle? Cycle is nothing but the internal clock of your control unit. When I said that in a single cycle, the number of bits it can compute in a single cycle is nothing but the internal clock of your control unit is your single cycle, right? The bus carries the control signals, the address in a system. The bus of the controller, it carries the data. There is a bus in understand this thing in CPU. Uh, it carries the data. It carries a control signal and the address in the system. If data bus width is same as of the word length, then one word can be moved at one time. If the bus width is half of the word length, two cycle are required to move one word. So this is the bus width, which actually determines the speed of your computer. And what is this cycle? What is computer speed? The number of words or the number of bits a computer computes in a single cycle. And what is a cycle? The internal clock of control unit is known as a single cycle. And it depends, and it depends on the width of the bus, right? Storage and storage devices. There are two types of storages: volatile storage and non-volatile storage. A volatile storage is that storage. The information residing in volatile storage needs continuous power supply, right? The content are lost if power supply is switched off. Example is your main memory or your cache memory. Until and unless you don't save your data, if you are working and if you have not saved your data, then your data goes, because your data was in volatile storage, that was in the RAM, main memory. RAM, random access memory, is a volatile storage. It needs continuous power supply, and the content are lost if power supply is switched off. Non-volatile storage. Non-volatile storage media do not require power supply to retain their content. Example of such storage is your media disk, your floppy disk, your magnetic tape, your hard disk. All these are non-volatile storage. Once you have saved your data, it has been stored. It will be stored there until and unless you will delete that data. When you store something in your hard disk, when you store something in your USB, right? Or when you store something in your floppy disk, or you store something in your hard disk, it will be there until and unless you erase that data, right? So volatile storage is that data. Volatile storage is it needs a continuous power supply, and the content or the data are lost if power supply is switched off. And non-volatile storage do not require the continuous power supply to retain the content. It could be retained once it has been saved. Main memory, example of volatile memory was the RAM, and there are n number of examples for the non-volatile memory. Main memory holds the program and data required by CPU for carrying out its operation. So CPU takes the data from the main memory, that is from the RAM. It is required to hold the programs or the data to carry out the CPU's processes, to CPU's operation. CPU never takes data from the secondary or from the never or from the non-volatile memory. It always takes the data from the volatile memory, and it is required that data should be in the volatile memory for CPU's operations. The data is stored in the binary form in the memory, in the main memory, that is computer understands only binary, only 0 and 1. Whatever you type, there are ASCII codes, and these ASCII codes for each and every word there is an ASCII code, and this ASCII code has been changed into binary code, that is 0 and 1. To binary conversion, ASCII code has been converted into binary number, because computer understand the binary language, computer understand the language of 0 and 1. So data is stored in the binary form in main memory, and the binary digit is referred as a bit, or one, like 10 or 10101 1. These are referred to as a bit, right? Referred to as bit. Okay, means one bit. One bit means one character, or not one character, it's one binary digit, right? One binary digit is one bit. 8 bit, there are various terms like bit, byte. One bit, one binary digit is one bit. 8 bits is equals to 1 byte. So 1 byte is equals to 8 bits. 1 kilobyte equals to 1024 bytes. 1 megabyte is equals to 1024 kilobytes. 1 gigabyte 1024 megabytes. 1 terabyte is equals to 1024 gigabytes. 1 petabyte is 1024 terabytes. So one bit means one single binary digit, and 8 bits equals to 1 byte. And similarly, kilobyte, when we say my data is of 200 kilobytes, 200 kilobytes means 200 into 1024 bytes, right? Or 2 megabytes, 2 megabytes means 2 into 1024 kilobytes, right? Types of computer memories. There are three types of memories: primary memory, secondary memory, and a cache memory. Primary memory is also known as the volatile memory. Secondary memory is known as the cache memory, is even volatile memory because it needs uh, continuous power supply to retain the content. The secondary memory is also known as the non-volatile memory. Primary memory, example of primary memory is RAM and ROM. RAM is further of SRAM, DRAM, right? That is NVRAM, VRAM, FRAM. ROM is ROM, PROM, EPROM, EEPROM, that is PROM is programmable ROM, EPROM is erasable programmable ROM, ROM and OTP. These PROM, EPROM, EPROM is programmable ROM and ROM is non-programmable. OTP is ROM, that is one-time programmable ROM. Secondary memory like your hard disk, your compact disk, floppy disk, magnetic tape, your USBs, right? All these are secondary memories. And then come the cache memory. So these are the types of memories, right? RAM, the full form of RAM is random access memory. ROM is read only memory. RAM. RAM is very fast. The access time of RAM is nanoseconds. Within nanoseconds, you can access the data. RAM is volatile, that is, its content in RAM are lost when power supply is switched off or discontinued. It needs a continuous power supply to retain the content. DRAM, what is DRAM? Is the dynamic random access memory. A random access DRAM has been the most common kind of a RAM. The data is stored in the cells of transistors and capacitors, and the data has to be refreshed every few milliseconds. Data has been stored in the registers and the capacitors, and the data has to be refreshed every few milliseconds. Second is SDRAM is static random access memory. Static random access memory means it doesn't require any periodical refresh, right? It doesn't require any periodical refresh. SRAM is faster than DRAM, but is more expensive as compared to DRAM, right? SRAM is faster than DRAM, but more expensive than than DRAM, right? A part of a computer storage is ROM that cannot be erased or changed. A ROM is an acronym for read-only memory. ROM, read-only memory. It cannot be erased or changed. It is non-volatile. That is, its contents are not lost. Its contents are not lost when power is switched off. Right? ROM is non-volatile type of a memory. A ROM is required for storing the boot programs that should not be lost or changed due to any failure. Whenever you switched on your computer, your uh, uh, computer starts booting. It reads some instruction, some pre-written instruction that has been stored in the ROM, that is read-only memory. You cannot erase those things. The computer just, you can just read those instructions, or that is why that is known as the read-only memory. And read-only memory is required for storing of the boot program that should not be lost or changed due to any failures. Programmable read-only memory is used for storing some specialized application by computer designer instead of chip designer. PROM has been designed by the computer designer rather than the chip designer, whereas ROM has been designed by the chip designer. PROM is written only once, while EPROM can be erased and reprogrammed many times. It is erasable, programmable, read-only memory. You can erase and program it many times. Secondary devices or secondary memories. Secondary memory is slow as compared to main memory. RAM few time is few nanoseconds, while secondary memory is slow as compared to the main memory. Various technologies are used for secondary memories. Some provide random access and other provide sequential access, right? There are various technologies are there for use of the secondary memory, right? Some uses the random access or the sequential access. Sequential access storage device like these cassette is a sequential access device. Sequential access device means you have to go through each and every block. You cannot specifically run from 1 to 7th block. If you want to go to the seventh block, then you have to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then seventh block. Even when you fast forward the things, then even you are sequentially accessing the block. That's a different thing. That speed has been increased. Right? You cannot directly go to the seventh block. These are the sequential, as the name suggests, sequential. Then you have to go through a specific sequence. This is sequential access storage device. Next is direct access storage device. Direct access storage device is your USB, your floppy drive, your compact disk drive, your hard disk. All these are the direct. When you want to open the chapter number 1, which has been stored in your hard disk or floppy disk, you can go directly to that chapter or that song, right, or that particular portion of the file, right? That is direct access storage device. There is no need to, if you want to move from 1 to 7 file, you can directly go and open the now 7th number file rather than opening the first number file, right? See, access method diagram and random access method. Sequential method, you have to move sequentially, while randomly you can move from first to second, first to eighth, or from fifth to sixth, or fifth to first. Anywhere you can move. With sequential access, elements, that is 1, 2, 3 must be processed before element 4 can be processed, while in the direct access, element 4 can be accessed without having processed the elements before it. So these secondary memory is slower than the primary memory, and there are the various method of the secondary memory, that is the direct access method and the sequential access method. Direct access method is where you can directly open the file, and the sequential access method is where you have to move from, if you want to go to a particular position, you have to move the previous positions. Input and output devices. What is input device? What is output device? Input and output devices are used as a medium of communication between external environment and the CPU. They are the medium of communication between the external environment and the CPU. The input is provided to the computer through the input devices, and the output is given through the output devices. As the name indicate, input devices, which helps in inputting the device, inputting the data, and the output devices, which helps to output the data, give the output of the data. Input devices, there are various input devices like keyboard. Keyboard is your input device, right? There are various keys. Whenever we press a key, we input the data. Your mouse is an input device, right? Your joystick, whenever you play a game, whenever you move your joystick, that inputs the data, right? Your trackball is your input device. Light pen, when you write on your screen with the help of a pen, that is your input device. Touch screen, ATMs, right? That is your touchscreen ATM, right? That is your input device. Touchscreen laptops, when you can touch your screen and do whatever, you can select the menu, right? That is your input device. Your BCR is your input device. Your OMR is your input device. MICR, magnetic ink character recognition, is your input device. Magnetic, what is OMR? OMR is optical mark reader, is your BCR. Mark reader is your BCR. Is barcode reader, is your uh, input device. Barcode reader, there are various bars. You might have seen the bars on the product in superstore, and when they put those bars in front of your screen, it reads the details of that product, and that has been shown on the that has been displayed on your screen. Yeah, that is BCR. OMR is optical magnetic reader. Magnetic reader or mark reader is here. It helps to input the data which is sensitive in nature. MICR is magnetic ink character recognition. Where you might have seen that on the checkbook there are various number printed, or with the help of this MICR you can read those bars on the checkbook. OCR, right? Optical character reader. It helps in reading the optical characters. Microphone, through microphone, right now I'm using the microphone as an input device, right? Digitizer helps in inputting the data like your maps and other things. Scanner, so with the help of a scanner, you input the data, you scan the data, and that has been displayed on your screen scanner. Biometric sensor, when you input your fingers, right, to give the attendance, when you press your finger, right, to give your attendance, that is the biometric sensor. When you press your finger on the biometrics, it inputs your attendance, right? Intelligent terminals are there. Dumb terminals even are there. ATMs are your input device. When you put your card, right, that reads your details of the cards and shows and asks for the pin code, and when you give your pin code, it reads your pin code according to your card and then displays the options. Then QR, quick response is there. This is, these all are the input devices. There are various output devices like monitor. Monitor is an input as well as output device. Remember this thing. You can write monitor and input device as well as output device. Monitor is your output device. Right now, monitor is working as an input device. Your printer is your output device, right? There are two types of the printers, impact printer and non-impact printer, right? Impact printers, classifications of the printers. Printers are of two types, impact printer and non-impact printer. Impact printer are the digital printer or dot matrix printer, right? A digital printer, impact printer, digital and dot matrix printer. And non-impact printers are inkjet printers, thermal printers, and the laser printer. What is the difference between impact printer and the non-impact printers? Right? Impact printer uses striking action to trace a carbon against a paper to create a character. Means it, whenever you use the impact printer, you might have seen uh, typing machine, right? Whenever you type, it presses against the carbon paper. It presses against the carbon against. It presses the carbon against the paper, and it creates, and then it creates a character. So impact printer uses the striking action to press a carbon against paper to create a character. Dot matrix printer or the laser or the daisy, you might have seen type of a printer. You might have heard a sound of like this in few printers, like those are known as the dot matrix or the line printer or the daisy view printer, and some printer types, impact printers. They are slow and noisy. They are very slow. Their speed is very slow and they are very noisy. They do not support graphic and susceptible to the mechanical breakdown. You cannot take the graphical output or graphical. They don't support graphics. You cannot make the graphics or take the graphic printout from impact printers. Non-impact printers are used the laser beam to write information on photosensitive dreams. The paper passes over the drum. The paper passes over the drum and picks up the image with toner. Right? It uses the laser beam. Example of laser printer is laser printer is an example of non-impact printer. They have high speed and can produce a high quality text and graphics. Right? Inkjet printer and non-impact printer, which shoots tiny dots on the ink of paper. They are inexpensive and are used for a low volume of graphic application when different colors of inks are required. Right? So printer is your output device. We explained the types of the printer, two types of the printer, impact and non-impact printer. Speaker is your output device, headphone your output device, your projector is your output device, your touch screen is your output device, your plotter is your output device, a GPS is your output device. So all these are your output devices. I hope this is clear. Hardware, output hardware, software, and input devices and output devices. Next is networking and networking devices. Networking. What is networking? Collection of computers, printers, and other devices that are connected together with cable is known as networking. Collection of a system, that is arrangement of a computer and a lead system in a group, is known as networking, right? Arrangement of your system, I should say system, arrangement of your system in a particular way is known as networking. But arrangement of your system in a particular way with the help of cables, that is known as networking. Or in another word, you can say a network is a group of computers, printers, and other devices that are connected together with cable, that are connected together with cables. Data travel over the cables, allowing network user to exchange documents and data with each other. Many users can use the same printer, can share the hardware and software that are connected to a network. That is the advantage of the network. You can share your hardware, you can share your software, as well as you can share the printers and other things when you are on a network. Each computer, printer, or other peripheral device that is connected to a network is called a node. The network can have tens or thousands or millions of nodes. Each computer or a printer or any other peripheral device that is connected to a network is called a node. Remember what is node? Any computer, any peripheral device which is connected to a network is known as node. And there could be tens or hundreds or thousands of nodes or the millions of nodes in a network. What is internet? Network is collection of what is network, what is uh, network, collection or a collection of a computers or a arrangement of a system in a particular way is known as a network. And internet, networks of network is known as internet. That's why we say okay, there could be the hundreds, thousands or millions of nodes in a network, right? Example is internet. Network of network is known as internet. The number of possible ways to logically arrange the nodes or computer system and devices on the network are termed as topologies. What are topologies? In easy words, I can say topologies, the arrangement of your system in a particular way is known as topology. Right? Network, arrangement of your computers or arrangement of your system in a particular way known as topology, or the logical arrangement of your nodes or a computer system and devices on a network is termed as topology. Logically, when you arrange your system, these are known as topology. There are five types of topologies, although there are many types of topologies, but there are main five types of topologies: bus topology, ring topology, hierarchical topology, or star topology, hybrid topology, right? These are the diagrams of the bus topology. In bus topology, all computers are arranged in a bus form. That is, they are attached through a common cable. There is a central cable, and with this central cable, your computer devices are attached. Your systems are attached. The problem, the advantage of this is it is easy to arrange. The problem is when this cable breaks down, when this central cable breaks down, your entire network goes down, right? When there is any fault in your system, when there is any fault in your central cable, then your entire system goes down. And the advantage is whenever a single system goes down, the other system will work, right? That is the bus topology. A ring topology, when you arrange your system in a ring, right? And your data, and in bus topology, when your data flows from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, means it flows in a sequential way. In ring topology, when your data flows either clockwise or anti-clockwise in one direction, when your data flows in one direction, that is your ring topology, right? Only one node can send the data at one time, right? The advantage of this system is the advantage is there is no collision because of the token system in the wrong in the ring system. And if we are any system goes down, the entire system goes down. Star topology, we'll discuss it in our next lecture. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
एक मिनट तक